Should we keel haul them, or did they do all right?
Keel haul.
Keel haul. There's no love in this room at all, is there? I like to, hey, who did that to my hat? Hey, all right. Now I know some of you little livered lumps of lard, some of you scurvy dogs, were expecting to see some foolish-looking cat today. Well, let me tell you, he's not coming.
Yay.
Thank you. I got tired of being a cat, and I wanted to be someone so that I could talk funny and say words like scurvy and keel haul. Do you like those words? I like those words. So I'm going to read for you a book today by a man named Bill Harley. Bill Harley. Harley like the motorcycle. He doesn't look like he rides a motorcycle. Anyway, one more round of applause for the last. Now I got to find my toys. Here they are. There it is. Oh, look at that. There's my good friend, Dirty Joe the Pirate. I'm going to climb up into the rigging of my fine sailing ship and read you the story. There we go. All right. Well, out on the one. It's really rough when a pirate turns 40. All right, we'll try it again. Hey, watcher. How many of you have that lassie back there for your teacher? How would you like the rest of the day off? I'm just kidding. I like her. She's my neighbor. Something bad were to happen to her, there'd be these 3 boys roaming the neighborhood wild. That would be dangerous. The dog would be afraid. Oh, I broke my boat. Let's try that again. There we are. Back up. Into the rigging. Hey, who killed the bird? Hold the bird for me. All right, here we go. Once upon the briny deep, where the wild and wet winds blow, there sailed a cruel and evil man, the pirate Dirty Joe. He sailed upon the scummiest craft that ever left the docks. He roamed the world in 7 seas in search of dirty socks. With his one good eye, he surveyed the seas, searching for a ship. And when he spied a boat out there, he'd sneer and lick his lips. All hands on deck, he'd order. There's treasure to be had. He'd shake his one fist in the air and laugh like you were mad. Ha ha, laugh with me. Ha 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 ha. That's pathetic. Laugh like you're a mad pirate. Ha ha ha. Thanks for the help, though. He'd fire a cannon across their bow and board the other craft, and then make the crew take off their shoes, and with a horrid laugh, let's try that again. Ha 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 ha. He'd tie the sailors all uptight and rob them of their socks, and leave their ship a-floundering to run upon the rocks. The socks he took from other ships, you'll be surprised to learn, he tied upon his rigging lines that ran from stem to stern. They flapped and fluttered in the breeze, 500 little flags, and the smell that those socks gave off was enough to make you gag. Till one day, as he sailed his ship somewhere near Mandalay, his lookout spied another boat beating across the bay. "Aha!" said Joe, "let's get that boat. We'll catch her now by thunder. And sure as I am Dirty Joe, there's socks there we can plunder." The pirates cheered and set the sails to catch up with their prey. They sharpened up their knives and swords, the boat danced on the spray. But suddenly the cheering stopped. The wind it gave a moan. For on the other ship there flew a flag of skull and bones. From mast to mast, from bow to stern, flying everywhere, there flapped and snapped 500 pairs of pilfered underwear. Boxers big and boxers small, with stripes and polka dots, and tidy whiteys hung there too, like the ones your grandpa's got. Lined upon that other deck armed with swords and knives, was a sight that made the men all shake in fear for their own lives. 100 pirate women waved their daggers and their swords, and a woman pirate captain yelled, "Girls, let's climb aboard!" "It's Stinky Annie," someone said, "and her band of smelly varmints. She captures every boat she can and takes their undergarments. Then all is lost, another sang, we haven't got a chance. You can't be a pirate if you don't have underpants." "You lily-livered lumps of lard," lashed out Dirty Joe. "What sort of pirates are you, lads? That's what I would like to know. We'll show them, we'll take their ship, we'll tie them up," he roared. "We'll take their socks and sneakers too and throw them overboard." The pirates there with Dirty Joe screamed and cheered and yelled. Someone blew a whistle. Someone rang the bell. As the boats drew near, the pirates cursed and muttered, "Well, 1,000 pair of underwear and socks all flapped and fluttered." And as their ships came closer, Joe's men all could see that Stinky Annie was as scary looking as can be. Her mouth was twisted in a sneer. Her one arm was but a hook, and with her one good evil eye, she gave a withering look. Finally, the two ships met. On the waves they rocked. "Get them now, boys!" Joe cried out. "Take off all their socks!" But even as the men attacked the women waiting there, Stinky Annie called to her crew, "Girls, get their underwear!" It was an awful battle, a loud and raucous fray. At first it seemed that Dirty Joe would win and have his way, until Joe's first mate noticed that Stinky Annie's crew all were fighting barefoot. They had no socks or shoes. "What's the point?" a man cried out. "Why make all this fuss? If we can't get their dirty socks, then what is in it for us?" "No!" screamed Joe. "Don't give up now!" But he spoke the words too late, and Stinky Annie and her crew quickly sealed their fate. Stinky Annie came aboard and cornered Dirty Joe. She said, "I want your boxers now, in case you didn't know." Then Dirty Joe looked up and said, "Before you have your fun, your face looks quite familiar. You remind me of someone." Stinky Annie lowered her sword. They peered at one another. "Wait," she said. "I see it now. You're Joe, my little brother." "That's right," said Joe. "Your sister Ann, you bounced me on your knee. Put down your sword, give up this fight. Please don't do this to me." Stinky Annie gave a smile. A tear came to her eye. All her crew looked on and all. They'd never seen her cry. "Little Joey, how are you?" she asked. "How have you been?" "I'm fine, dear Sister Ann," he said, and gave a grin. "Good," said Annie. "That's great news." Her one eye danced and showed. "Now do just what I say, you squirt. I want your underpants." "But Annie, you're my sister," Joe blubbered and he whined. "Stow it, Joey," Annie said. "I haven't got the time. Just because I'm your sister doesn't mean I care. I'm a pirate now, that's what I do. I want your underwear." So Dirty Joe surrendered and did what his sister said. And when he did, it's safe to say more than his face was red. Stinky Annie sailed away, and still she roams the seas, with her brother's boxers high above, flapping in the breeze. And Dirty Joe, he sailed home, close to the Bay of Fundy. He's not a pirate anymore because he has no undies. That's the finish of this tale. It's silly and it's done. But there's a lesson here that I'd impart to everyone. If you've got an older sister, then I feel bad for you, because just as long as she's alive, she'll tell you what to do. So now, this is what I need you to do for me the rest of the way. Keep celebrating Dr. Seuss. That silly cat friend of his bothers me, but that's all right. Someday I'll run him through. That's what I'll do. I want you to keep learning how to read from these wonderful teachers you got in the back there. You understand that? Can you read? All right. And I want you to try and read a Bill Harley book if you can sometime. That young librarian lady, she may have one for you. You may get one at the local library. You may even find one in your book order again. He writes books for kids of all ages. We got Dirty Joe for little guys. He's got novels for older ones. Bill Harley. Bill Harley. What was his name?
Bill Harley.
Bill Harley. That's right. Harley liked the what? Harley liked the motorcycle. You can't forget that, can you? How many of you have Harley Davidson? I mean, anybody here drive a Harley? No. How did you get to school then? I sailed my boat. You didn't come on a Harley? You probably came on a Harley. All right. Anyhow, I'm going to turn you back over to these